Today, my team and I are at Ballahack Airsoft in Chesapeake, Virginia for Ferdal Crescent 5. Now this event isn't like any others. There's no set teams and there's no really set objectives. Players can choose to befriend others or simply shoot them on sight without warning. You can even loot dead players for bottle caps, which are used as in-game currency, or you can loot small items that the dead player brought them. The players can choose to play this game however they want, minus a few small rules. The overall goal is to survive the plague that happens when the game ends. Fertile Crescent is part of the Revelation series that Ballahack has been putting on for many years now. The event takes place hundreds of years after the events of Revelations, where there was a great war that decimated civilization, but the Fertile Crescent is the first place since the war to see life. There are different vendors and role players throughout the field that can help you find the time keys that will lead to you being able to survive the plague at the end of the game. If you're interested in learning more about how this event works, I'll leave a link to Christopher's channel over at Swamp Sniper in the description down below. Now here, my group joined forces with another for the time being to ambush players coming down this path. It didn't take too long for us to find our first victims.
No. There's 3 guys.
Now we're at the Circus of Value, or the COV, getting an objective from one of the role players. Listen closely as he'll explain what we have to do with the things he's giving us.
This is a letter to the man in the purple coat. You must give that to him along with this. If you lose this, it is lootable. Do not die. Murder anybody that threatens.
Alright, where will we find him?
He's in the blood pit. The blood pit. We gotta go to. I'm gonna put in your bag.
We gotta go to the blood pit.
Hold up. Alright, we're almost there. We're going to the man in the purple coat, the blood pit.
Here's a letter for you. Yes, those are for you. Oh, so this is for you. Alright.
I got way more winded doing that than I thought I would.
It's the heat, I promise. The humidity just around it. So sticky. Moist. They just sit in my bag, so. We were just told to deliver it to you, sir. Oh, here's the actual. I was like, why is it only signed in PS's? What's going on here? I also like the fact that it was signed in. Well, unfortunately, I won't really be able to leave the area. However, we can conversate back to the time. Alright. At least it's...
So in the letter, there must have been some request for the man in the purple coat to leave his area, but since he couldn't really do that since he is one of the role players, he decided to compensate us for our travels, giving everyone an achievement coin that could later be used to obtain a time key to help us survive the plague.
That is awesome. I love that. There were some quests yesterday for you. Yep.
Now there are other role players on the field to get different objectives, but we all decide to head back to the COV for the time being. On the way, however, we run into a group of people who we decide to engage rather than seeing if they would engage us first. We got most of them, but there's still one more player behind the barrier.
The back.
It says Mario Bros.
Oh, okay.
Where?
That one?
He's hit. Find the barrier. What? I can't see him. I don't know where he's at. He's running. He ran running down the tree line. Just scare shots. Just scare shots.
Now that that's all over, we can head back to the COV.
Okay, can I get the people in front of me right here? So I give you your armband first, I'll give you your cap first.
Since we completed this role player's objective, we're all being given red tape to signify friendship with the COV.
They're selling them?
I tell us the executives.
Hold on a second.
I got it, as long as I can get
What do we need to take it
Yeah, to the blood pit now.
Yeah. It has to go now. Question says. Okay.
the main vendor.
Would you trade patches?
Yeah.
This is one of my custom patches, Universal Airsoft, if you like to trade. I'll do the Rev.
Well, this one?
Yeah.
You got your test?
It's all about the marketing.
Cool.
Now before we left the COV, we were given another objective from the same role player to deliver 2 jugs of water to the man in the purple coat.
And how much more?
I know Candyman likes gold. We can trade it in for Candyman.
Tower.
Town.
Over there.
We can take
Got
2
you.
too.
Sure, tower. Tower, put it in. How about for the second jug? Second jug? It was a good game. It was close. You got fun? And then I can get you guys some tower. Sure, I got it back. You just want to give me the can. Y'all want to play some blackjack or poker? Blackjack, poker, play for fun, play for money. I'm going to take a picture of you with your thumbs up to represent the circus of value that we deliver the drugs. Actually, I was thinking.
Wait, do we actually need it?
Just say that we delivered the drugs.
Right.
Get it? Yeah, COV is going to want to know.
Okay.
And back to the COV we go.
I've already sent somebody out for ice, but I don't think they're ever going to do it. So if you want to give me ice, I will pay for it. I don't know. I just need ice, like a bag of ice. Speaking of that, I have a quest that nobody's done so far. Do you have phones on you?
Oh, I did, not
There's a
anymore.
quest out there. I put advertisements out, and nobody's ever looked at them. Maybe you should take a look. You have? You should go find it again.
It was on a barrel, I think.
Wait, what?
I swear I saw it on
Oh
a
no,
barrel.
that's the Fertile set Crescent logo. Did it look like this but yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for a different thing. But if you have your phone, you should go read those advertisements. You are scam? Yeah. All of them lead to something.
Where is that?
Not the little box.
Okay.
So here, my team splits up to visit different vendors and try to get a time key. My teammate Dave and I decided to get a third objective from the same COV role player, and now we are searching for QR codes to scan that the role player has put up around the field. Dave had seen one earlier at the far end of one of these crates.
Into this thing? Alright. What's that? We are friends. Yeah, the COV.
Okay. Do you have any idea where the Pope might be? I want to get baptized.
I've only seen him from the beginning when he was killing people. Did you get it?
Hey! Hey! Let me get my cataract!
Grab your... If you found your pocket, I'll drag you somewhere so someone has a stim.
As we were talking with another group about our red tape, Dave gets hit, but before we left to scan the codes, I had seen a different player with a stim pack. Stim packs are small devices that any player can obtain through role players to revive hit players. People don't necessarily have to revive someone else, but luckily this player did so, and I gave him a patch for his troubles.
I'll trade you a custom patch. I'll give you a custom. Wanna grab it, Dave? If you get a chance, check out Universal Airsoft on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you might see yourself on here now. Awesome. Nice. Perfect.
Now that Dave is revived, we head into the town and go into one of the buildings that houses the Candyman, another one of the role players in the game.
I'm at the Candyman right now. Repeat that?
Where is the Candyman?
He's at a station.
In the tower?
Yeah. A knife? What? What do you need? I don't have a knife on me. I usually do. Well, it's 11:24 or 11:54, so we might break for lunch in about half hour, and then we can. Oh.
You guys would have lost even if somebody didn't rat you.
Want me to hold it for you, or do whatever? This might not cut it, but right here. Nice. Get it for all of them? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Timestamp has been secured and hidden. I repeat, timestamp has been secured and hidden.
No. No, he's not. Let's go. Let's move.
I didn't get an objective from the Candyman, but the rest of my team is back at the man in the purple coat, so Dave and I, along with a couple other players, head back to meet up with them. Along the way, however, we pass another group of players.
We're walking to the path past the RV. Friends with COV. Got 'em all.
Sadly, my GoPro died right before we looted the players. Not too long after we met up with the rest of our team, we broke for lunch and then headed back out onto the field soon after. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this, be sure to keep an eye out for part 2 next week.